Did you see that speech last week? Ed Miliband made a pitch for office that was so forgettable, he forgot it himself. In all seriousness, that forgetting to talk about the deficit is not just some hapless mistake of an accident-prone politician. It is completely and totally a disqualification for the high office he seeks. Here are the facts. The latest Treasury estimate is that to eliminate the deficit requires a further £25 billion of permanent public expenditure savings or new taxes. And I tell you in all candour that the option of taxing your way out of a deficit no longer exists if it ever did. So to eliminate the deficit and finish the job, we will reduce Whitehall spending by at least the same rate for the first 2 years of the next Parliament as we have done through this Parliament. And there will have to be less welfare spending too. Now, so I can tell you this today. Working age benefits in Britain will have to be frozen for 2 years. This is the choice Britain needs to take to protect our economic stability and to secure a better future. The fairest way to reduce welfare bills is to make sure that benefits are not rising faster than the wages of the taxpayers who are paying for them. This freeze in working age benefits saves the country over £3 billion. It's a serious contribution to reducing the deficit. Pensioner benefits and disability benefits will be excluded. And to those in work, I see that say this: where is the sense in taxing you more, only for you to be given some of your own money back in welfare? The best way to support people's incomes is to make sure that those out of work get a job and those in work pay less tax. It is the deliberate policy of this government to support job creators. And yet, for the first time in my adult life, we have a Labour Party that is positively anti-business. It came through in every sentence. Ed Miliband remembered the bit we wished he'd forgotten. Now, by the general election, we will have delivered on the promise I made to you in my first speech as Chancellor here in Birmingham. Britain will have the lowest, most competitive business taxes of any large country in the world. There is one final choice we should make, a choice this party of progress always makes, and that is to trust people with their own money. That's why in my budget this year, I applied that philosophy with far-reaching new freedoms in the way people can access their pensions. Now, these freedoms are based on the simple idea that people know better how to spend their own money than governments do. This party that gave people the right to buy their own home is the party that is now giving people ownership of their own pension too. But I want to go further. There are still rules that say you can't pass on to the next generation any of your pension pot when you die without paying a punitive 55% tax on it. Now, I could choose to cut this tax rate. Instead, I choose to abolish it altogether. People who have worked and saved all their lives will be able to pass on their hard-earned pensions to their families tax-free, effective from today. Children and grandchildren and others who benefit will get the same tax treatment on this income as on any other, but only when they choose to draw it down. Freedom for people's pensions, a pension tax abolished, passing on your pension tax-free, not a promise for the next Conservative government, but put into place and delivered by Conservatives in government now. Now, we are 8 months away from one of the most important general elections in a generation. We can face it with confidence, for we go to the people as the party of progress. For 5 years, Britain has pursued a clear economic policy when all over Europe there has been crisis and uncertainty. Britain has been the lantern in the storm. Now we seek a new mandate as the party of jobs and security and a strong Prime Minister against the party offering higher taxes, more debt, and Ed Miliband. And we are going to offer political resolve and economic competence, a confident future for Britain as the most prosperous country in the world. And we're going to say to the British people, choose jobs, choose enterprise, choose security, choose prosperity, choose investment, choose fairness, choose freedom, choose David Cameron, choose the Conservatives, choose the future. Thank you.